What if a few precise tweaks could boost your YouTube views by like 78% overnight? I'm about to reveal exactly how I did this for clients that I work with as a YouTube strategist, for whom I've been able to grow their channels from 2,000 subscribers all the way to 40,000 subscribers in less than 90 days. And it's also the same setting tweaks that I'm using to grow this brand new channel you're watching right now, that I'm going to take from 0 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers in less than 90 days. Now, for years, my other YouTube channel, which is all about video editing, was just stuck in a rut, despite pouring my heart into every single video. See, I dug deep into YouTube Studio, I dissected every single setting, and I experimented until I finally discovered, I would say, around 5 specific tweaks that transformed my performance. Again, there was a lot of other things that went into the transformation of my performance on YouTube, but these are 5 small tweaks that could definitely make a difference. But back to the point at hand. This isn't just generic advice, it's real measurable stats that I used for myself and other clients that can really make a big difference, even though they're just 5 small setting changes. Now, I do wanna say that, of course, none of these 5 setting changes are going to replace core growth strategies like outlier research and everything else I talk about on this channel. Okay, so let's start with metadata. I know, sounds fun, right? Now, instead of generic just keyword stuffing, putting as many keywords as you can into your tags or your description or stuff like that, what I do is I use tools like vidIQ to pinpoint long tail keywords that are highly searched at the moment, phrases with high search volume but low competition, and I basically reworked my title so that the first 60 characters are laser focused on these keywords. And then I basically revamped my description into a mini outline with timestamps and reorganized my tags by relevance. Now, if that sounds effective, wait until you see how a simple change in your thumbnail design could literally double, triple, or even 10x your click-through rate. Your thumbnail is your storefront, right? It's what people look at that makes them decide whether they want to click on your video or not. Now, what I do is I always create 3 completely different thumbnail concept or distinct versions, right? For every single video I do. I do these based on outlier concepts, which you can learn much more about in this video above me right here for when you're done watching this one. And in addition to that, I use YouTube's built-in A/B split testing feature. However, if I'm completely honest, I've been using more for my clients and for myself something called Thumbnail Tester, because you can test as many thumbnails as you'd like, as well as titles, which is really cool. So if you guys want to check that out, I will leave a link in the description. I will be completely transparent with you guys. It is an affiliate link. It's no extra cost for you, but it helps me out and it makes it easier to make this content. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, the built-in YouTube thumbnail tester is also fantastic. In fact, when I began tracking my thumbnails that were being split tested, my CTR, my click-through rate, it literally boosted like crazy, and I was getting way more views. And I figured this out by monitoring my daily analytics, and I locked in the winning design after just about a week or so. So whichever thumbnail was winning after about a week based off of the analytics, that's the one that I went with. But if you don't want to be a slave to the analytics, you can actually choose when you want the thumbnail to end with a third-party tool like Thumbnail Tester. Or again, if you don't want to use a paid tool, you could just let YouTube end the A/B split test on its own, which typically takes about a couple weeks to do. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. If you're gonna go the free route with YouTube's built-in feature, I recommend at least looking at it once a day or so to see how those thumbnails are performing. Now, that being said, imagine if you could hold your viewers' attention all the way through your video, right? What if there was a way to guide them exactly where you wanted them to go? What if there was a way you could control their viewing patterns, their minds to keep watching? I studied my clients' analytics and my own audience retention graphs to identify the exact moment, say for example, 3 minutes and 40 seconds into a video, when viewers were likely to drop off. Then what I did was I strategically placed a card linking to a related video just before that point, which is basically the video that comes, I'll put a card on screen right now so you could see what I mean as an example. It's one of these, this is what a card is. And then what I did in addition to that was I revamped my end screens to include a mix almost, right? Like a playlist, a subscribe button, a link to a best of playlist, basically like my most popular video, and then a link to a video that I strategically set up in my end, or in my call to action, where I would basically end a video strategically in order to get them to keep watching other videos in my content ecosystem. So let's say I was making a video about how to make money editing. Well, at the end of that video, I could say, hey, the thing is, everything I just told you is completely useless unless you learn how to actually edit the technical side of it. But luckily for you, I made a video on exactly how to do that, and you could click that right here. And then I would have that video pop up on screen. And because I set up a hook and some pain points as to why they should do that, they're more likely to click onto that next video that is still within my content ecosystem. What's really cool is when I started doing this, I found that my overall channel's AVD, or average view duration, it went way up, meaning I noticed that people were spending way more time watching my content. And in result, they started clicking into my backend offer, my free newsletter, my editing program, to work with me one-to-one on their YouTube content, you name it. So this overall is a fantastic way to keep people in your content ecosystem, as I like to call it. But the next thing is also very important that people overlook, and that's breaking your video into clearly defined chapters, because this does much more than just organize your content. First of all, it supercharges your SEO, which I'll explain in a second. But first, I want to talk about a little bonus to this, which, by the way, I don't have any real data on, but I feel like it increases viewer satisfaction because people just enjoy being able to see which part of the video is most beneficial for them. I know it's not best for us, the creators, having people skip around the video, but it is in the sense that it gives more viewer satisfaction. So basically, that aside, what I do is I divide my video into segments. Like, for example, from the 0-second mark to the 30-second mark, it's the intro and hook. And then maybe I would go from 1 minute to 2 minutes, and I would have that chapter titled "The Problem Editors Have." It hits on a pain point, it adds curiosity, and it's a string of keywords. Then let's say from 2 minutes, I would name that chapter "Editing Videos in DaVinci Resolve with AI." Again, a string of popular keywords. Then from 4 minutes on, let's say it's "How to Edit for Beginners." Again, a string of highly searched keywords that I'm using. Most people, when they write their chapter markers on YouTube, what they do is they just put intro, point 1, point 2, point 3. But when you change it and word it strategically based off of highly ranked or searched keywords, how I just gave you in this example, you're much more likely to come up in the search results because each chapter title is embedded with keywords, giving YouTube more context to use to rank your content. Again, a little trick that you could do here to just optimize your SEO with titles is to go to a tool like vidIQ, and then imagine that you have a part of the video that you're talking about video editing with AI. We'll go see what the top keywords are on YouTube using a tool like vidIQ, and then search video editing and AI, and then title your chapter markers the same as those top keywords that come up when you make that search. Now, if chapters help structure content, imagine how fine-tuned data can amplify your reach even further. Now, the final tweak here is to really just embrace continuous improvement through data. What I personally do is I maintain a monthly log to basically test one variable at a time. So I take one variable at a time and I test that all month. So for example, maybe it's the thumbnail design or split testing on thumbnails that I do. Maybe it's metadata phrasing or card placement. By recording these key metrics, like for example, click-through rate, view duration, retention, all that good stuff, and by viewing all of these analytics while only changing one thing that I do differently per month, I can therefore begin to identify what truly actually resonates or works with my audience and with my channel or my content, and same goes for my clients, and roll out the best performing changes channel-wide. Now, if you're serious about growing your YouTube channel and you want even more insider strategies, you can go ahead and join my completely exclusive free newsletter where you'll basically get in-depth guides, free templates, behind-the-scenes insights, and actionable tips that I don't share anywhere else in regards to YouTube and YouTube growth and just the creator economy. So click the link below to join that newsletter, again, completely for free. Oh, and if you want to learn more about optimizing your thumbnails with that outlier strategy that we talked a little bit about, then you could click on this video to watch that next.